That's a bit better. I didn't have the message thing up, but welcome. As you can read from the title,
and a warm welcome to
we
Wembley.
will be playing. Hang on, let me start the commentary. This will be playing in the background. We will be going over my predictions for the 2022-23 season. The Premier League is up first. I am doing the Championship in a few days, considering the Championship season is going to start first. But I'm getting this uploaded and done first. But let's just get straight into things with, well, first of all, the like goal. If this video can reach 100 likes, we can do it. Come on, I believe. If you want more Premier League content, then please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button, because I have got a few things coming up that I want to do revolving the Premier League. Let's just get straight into it with 20th place. Now, I think this was a team that everyone was going to put in their relegation. I don't think most are going to put them 20th this year, but I've put Fulham as the 20th place team, bottom of the table for the Premier League. Now, we all know Fulham as the club that bounces around a lot between the Championship and the Premiership, and it's going to continue, I think. Fulham are the type of team that will get in big players, but they still won't do enough. But I feel like they could do some sort of well in this league this year, but I don't think it'll be good enough. So straight back down to the Championship for me. In 19th place is a very controversial one. I was saying this to Kieran because we went over these predictions before uploading the videos. We went over them, and this could be a very controversial one. I think it's going to be Brentford in 19th. Second syndrome for Brentford. I don't think the Bees are going to have enough to keep up this season after losing Christian Eriksen as well. He was a key part of their squad last season when he came in January. So it's kind of like they don't have a real playmaker anymore. But I still think Ivan Toney could do well if he stays. But I feel like Brentford back down for them. 18th place, I have Bournemouth, another team that's come straight up from the Championship. They're going straight back down for me. I think Dominic Solanke is going to have a brilliant season. He's just not gonna. It's just not gonna be enough for Bournemouth to stay up. I reckon they're going to go down again, straight down to the Championship. Into 17th place, and I think the team that was sitting in 17th place at the end of last season will finish there again. And this time I think Leeds United, I think they'll survive again. I think it'll be another story with with Burnley. They'll survive a few seasons on the skin of their teeth, and then they'll go down. Leeds United, third season in the Premier League in a row. Although this prediction could be wrong, they have just lost Rafinha, which could very much impact the way they play this season. But I don't think they'll go down. I reckon Leeds can stay up. 17th. In 16th place, I have put Southampton. Again, another team that we're expecting to stay up. Like every single season. I've placed them 16th because, in my opinion, I don't think they can get much higher, but I don't think they're going to get relegated at all. I feel like they'll have a really comfortable season, depending on what happens in this transfer window, if Ward-Prowse is leaving or not. That could impact. But Southampton are a pretty solid team that will cement their place in the... In 15th is Everton. I think another poor season is coming from Frank Lampard's men. They didn't do too well last season. At one point, it looked like they were getting relegated. They managed to change it around. It was brilliant in the end from Everton. They pushed to stay up. They're the only team in history to never be... they've never been relegated from top flight football. So from the year that they got up, they've never come back down. Which is incredible to say. And I think they're going to keep that up. 15th Everton. In 14th, I have Nottingham Forest. I think it'll be like Brentford, just like last season. Nottingham Forest have brought in quite a few brilliant looking talents that could do well for their team. They've brought in Dean Henderson from Nottingham from Man United, who I think will do extremely well in that Nottingham Forest team. I feel like they've got an amazing squad to stay up now. Like, as soon as and all their brilliant players left after last season, it looked like they were just a team that was going to go straight back down. But Forest have brought in the new players that they needed. They've done extremely well, in my opinion. 14th seems kind of accurate for this season for them. The next team is in 13th place, and I have Patrick Vieira's men, Crystal Palace, recently getting a few wins in their friendlies. I remember the first friendly they played against Millwall. They won 5-4. It was a brilliant game. I watched the highlights for that. That was brilliant. I think they've got an incredibly strong squad. Zaha, Edward, Mateta. They're all brilliant players. I think Eze and Elise are going to really break through this season. I think Crystal Palace is going to have an excellent season. But it's just not going to be enough to push them further forward. 13th. The team I have in 12th is Newcastle. Kieran disagrees with me on this one. He reckons they're going to be higher. But I think this is a perfect place for Newcastle. After that £1 billion takeover last season, you thought they'd make some moves. They have made some moves, but they're not the type of moves that you really want. And in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be enough to get them higher. So I think around the mid-table marks kind of suiting for a Newcastle team of that calibre. With Chris Wood, Kieran Trippier, Bruno Guimaraes, I think it's going to be excellent next season. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think they're going to get any higher than 12th. Next team is Wolves in 11th. It's another case of Wolves are a brilliant team that can push. But I just feel like they're not going to have as good of a season. Last season wasn't really the best for them. I think they may lose Sarr during this transfer window. I don't think Neves or Moutinho is going to be the best this season either. Something I reckon is going to happen to Jimenez, and it's all just going to go downhill for Wolves, I reckon. 11th. The next team in 10th is Manchester United. This is another very controversial one. I'm going to get a lot of stick for it, but I don't care. I feel like they've not got the squad. Ronaldo has said he is leaving Manchester United. I mean, what can you do about it? Jadon Sancho's not been very good. Marcus Rashford isn't that good. Fred, McTominay, Maguire, the best player in that Man United squad, in my opinion, is David De Gea. And he's the goalkeeper. He's the person that's going to stop them from going even further down the table, in my opinion. It's going to be David De Gea that helps to keep Man United mid-table. And I know I'm going to get a lot of stick for saying 10th. But that's just the way I feel for Manchester United this season. In 9th place, I have Leicester City. Another team that they were focusing a lot on Europe last season, which is why they finished a bit further down. They weren't focusing as much in the league, and I feel like they could have done a bit better. But I reckon they'll finish 9th next season. They'll have another comfortable season, but they won't push for European games. I don't think they'll find it worth it. But I think a decent season from Leicester. I think 9th is pretty accurate. The next team in 8th place, I have Aston Villa. That is a team I don't think you expected to hear this high. Aston, I reckon, are going to have an absolutely amazing season. I reckon they're going to bring in so many good players. I think they're just going to push and push. I don't think Aston Villa is going to give up this time. So, 8th place, they're going to try to push for at least Conference League. I don't think they'll get it though. In 7th place is another shocker for you guys to hear. It's Brighton and Hove Albion, who I think will be 7th. I reckon Brighton are a really, really good team. Now, obviously they've just sold Basuma to Spurs, but I don't think that's really going to matter for Graham Potter's men. They are brilliant on their own. We all remember that 4-0 win they took against Manchester United last season. It was brilliant. And I think they're going to have an absolute amazing season. And I feel like Brighton can push for at least Conference League. In 6th is another controversial one I might get some stick from. It's Tottenham Hotspur. They've done extremely well in the past few years. Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, they've been excellent. But Spurs just cannot push to win anything. They're in Champions League this season, which is why I think it's going to just go downhill for Spurs. I don't think they're making Champions League next year. 6th place for Tottenham Hotspur. In 5th, Europa League, I have put Arsenal. I've put Arsenal because I don't think they're quite good enough to make Champions League football. I reckon they'll be good, but not good enough. Now, it's another thing to say with Arsenal. They have such a young squad that can be unpredictable. So you never know. I just put Middle against Middle. So you never know what's really going to happen with that Arsenal team. I feel like they'll do really well, but they just won't make Champions League. Now we get into the Champions League spots. The first spot in 4th, I'm giving it to West Ham United. Now, as a Millwall fan, I don't think you expected to really hear that. But West Ham have played extremely well in last few seasons. They were unlucky to miss out on Europa League last season. I thought they played extremely well in the league. They got some very, very good results. I feel like they can push next season. And Champions League, I think, is on the horizon for West Ham United. The Hammers, I reckon they'll do well. And I went to the London Stadium a couple weeks ago, actually, to see the stadium. I got photos with the dressing room and stuff. It's a big stadium. I think they'll do extremely well next season. West Ham, 4th place, Champions League football. Now we get into the dangerous territory. Top 3. This decides between 3 teams: Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea, on who is going to win the league. In 3rd place, I have the Merseyside Reds. Liverpool in 3rd. Liverpool, I don't think they're going to focus on the Premier League as much this season. I think they'll focus on Champions League after that Champions League loss against Real Madrid. Now, Liverpool are an amazing side, and they can push for the league if they so want it. But I don't think they're going to do it this season. I feel like the other 2 teams are going to just be stronger than Liverpool this season. It's going to be a very tight race. I reckon they only missed out by about 5 points from the title, Liverpool. It's going to be close. Now, I can reveal it. The team I think is going to win the 2022-2023 Premier League title, I think it's going to be Chelsea. Chelsea is a brilliant side in the last few seasons. They've made some brilliant signings throughout this transfer window already. I reckon they'll do excellent. All they really need is a true brilliant striker, and that will get them off and running. They've had a few problems with getting in strikers in the last few years, which I think they need to improve on. They need to capitalise on the money they before it's actually gone. And I feel a new striker will do extremely well in that Chelsea squad. They've already got the entire squad covered, in my opinion. They've got an entire brilliant starting 11. It's full of youngsters. It's got there's players in there that you just can't hate. They're brilliant. That Chelsea squad is going to be so good next season, in my opinion, that it's going to be good enough to beat Man City for the league. Man City second, Chelsea first. That is controversial. But I think that Chelsea can do it next season. They'll have the brilliant squad to do it, and it'll just be amazing if they could. Mendy in goal, James. They've just bought in. Who is it that they just bought in? They bought in a replacement for Rudiger. I forgot who it was though. They bought in someone. I don't really remember. Chelsea just bought in another player to help them at the back. But I feel like they'll push really hard next season and they will win the Premier League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, slap it a like, subscribe and hit the bell. And let's get to 100 likes, please. Please get to 100 likes. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys.